Scream Bros, episode 5, take 2.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2. Oh.
Welcome back. Episode 5 of Scream Bros.
You didn't do it right.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Take 2.
No. Go ahead.
No, I'm done now.
You gotta give it more than that. Come on. No, you gotta. Okay. That's.
What are we talking about today?
Okay. So, can we leave a small disclaimer about why it's take 2? We can talk about that.
If we have time at the end, we can talk about it.
Okay. Well, we are talking today about Interstellar. In IMAX.
IMAX 70mm.
70
which
millimeter.
is different than IMAX.
Regular IMAX. My bad. And we are talking about that today because we just watched it this morning, about 2 hours ago. And we went to an early morning showing. This is our first daytime podcast episode. Usually we always record at night.
Daylight out there.
Yeah, so you see a little bit of light out there. That means we are actually awake for this one. But yeah, tell me what you think about 70mm IMAX. This is the 10th anniversary of the movie, so they re-released it in IMAX.
Which I didn't even think about. I saw the ad for it, coming back in 70mm. I didn't realize it was the 10th anniversary until we were there.
Yeah, which is crazy. It's 10 years. I mean, if you're, Matthew McConaughey or Anne Hathaway in this, I feel like you gotta feel old.
Oh yeah, probably.
You gotta feel ooh, 10 years ago we made this project. I would feel old.
It seems weird just because I haven't seen it that many times. It's been 10 years. I think this is the second time I've seen it all the way through.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
And the movie just holds up so well. Even now, the topic and of the world ending,
oh yeah.
Which, can I say, is very, different for Christopher Nolan always makes, world-ending movie. Well, I'm just saying, it's very different in the fact that it seems... I guess not. I guess Tenet's very sci-fi. But I feel like his are a little bit more grounded movies. Inception's a little bit more grounded sci-fi. He almost has this kind of sci-fi where it's scientifically well, I guess that's science fiction. But
I don't know. For me, they all seem like they're very Christopher Nolan movies. They are really complicated. There's a lot of mind-bending stuff, and then there's a lot of epic shots, and then there's a lot of Hans Zimmer, and that's kind of how you make a Christopher Nolan movie.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, I feel like there's sci-fi movies, and then there's Christopher Nolan sci-fi movies, which are just feel very
they could happen in the real world.
Yeah, they feel very real.
Yeah.
That's why I said grounded. Is he feels I know it's not real.
Especially Interstellar, because I think theoretically that it could all happen.
Yeah, well, they actually studied the black holes to make them I think Interstellar was the first movie to ever depict a black hole accurately.
I don't know this 100% sure because I learned about this a long time ago. But when they were studying for that black hole, they got the scientist people to do it, and then they had all the data stuff, and they put it in 3D software to see what it looked like, and that's what came out. And then that was actually a new discovery. I think Interstellar actually made a kind of new discovery for black holes.
I feel I heard something about that.
Was within the process of it.
Yeah. Well, at least they were the first ones to do the black hole, on film.
Yeah, like that.
And
but
it
also,
was just...
Because I think about the black hole a lot, because it's the coolest shot of the...
Oh, yeah.
of the film. But I always forget about the wormhole at the start.
Yeah, that too.
And
how they're talking about it was a sphere. That one was super cool too.
And as it's going along, you can see the space warping, and it's hard to tell which side of the wormhole they're on.
I forgot that they went through it, and there's like a.
From what I could, I mean, I was like confused as I was watching it, even though it's like, that's all I could see. There's the sphere, and then they're kind of flying along it, and then almost like they're gonna wrap around it, but then they go into it.
Is that how that happens?
That's what it looks like on there.
Oh,
I don't think it's a straight
I did not
like
catch that.
Like straight into the sphere. It's like a.
Yeah. Well, I did not catch that. For me, it just looks like when they're going into hyperspace in
It does look
in
like
Star
that.
Wars.
But
I forgot how she like handshakes someone.
Yeah.
And I forgot that's like so cool that that's him later on, going back through it, and I didn't catch that the first time, and I feel like in that like coming full circle for him to like go back to his daughter, like that also it comes full circle to like to him on the ship as well.
Right, him being
going there.
the ghost.
Yeah. Which I don't know. It's really cool. I completely forgot also that he talked about how he's not like the one that was sent there by the people, mysterious people who like mysterious force from the future. It was his daughter that was chosen.
Yeah.
And how like they lined up this 3D rendering of time.
They made of
her room.
Yeah, they depicted fourth dimension in a 3D realm, basically. And yeah, that confused me too, because I never caught that the first time. So I was like, why is it that when he goes in a black hole, it's just that one room? Like, that's not what's in a black hole. But I guess it makes more sense now watching it again.
it's like also I always thought like this might be a weird thought, but like, is this just this moment, or is this like her room all through time? And like, like, is he can just watch her grow up through this room, and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know. I thought that was like such a weird.
Yeah, I mean that's basically what it was.
But I guess it's only like the moment that he needed. It might be only the part that he because it.
Well, no, that's what the different like as he was moving around, he was moving through time to different parts of things that happened.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, I just want to make sure I didn't bump anything.
Yeah, you're still on.
Yeah, like imagine like he like goes to a specific time in the room, and it's like her like making out with her boyfriend at the time. He's like, no, I didn't want to see this. He's like trying to like punch the books to like send a message. She's like, hold on, wait, my ghost in my wall is telling me something. It's like teenage Topher Grace. Topher Grace is the guy that in the end that gets punched in the face.
Oh yeah.
That's Eddie Brock.
Yeah, Eddie
from
Brock.
Spider-Man. Guy. Yeah, you're gonna pop up a picture so they know who I'm talking about, just so I don't seem crazy. Right in the middle, just for the viewers. But yeah, that guy, he's the that 70s show guy. I know him from main guy.
I never realized it was the same guy.
That's why Topher Grace is such a pleasant surprise. Every time I see him in a project, I'm like, hey,
I just
Eric.
think of him as Eddie Brock.
It's Eric Foreman. Yeah, but he's Eddie Brock. And what we're talking about. But yeah, no, it's so cool. I mean, it's honestly really meaningful message of him, like his like relationship with his daughter, and obviously, I forgot that Timothy Chalamet. Well, Timothy Chalamet, I know he's in it.
Yeah,
but like you forget that his character when he grows up, which is Ben Affleck's brother.
Casey Affleck.
Is that Casey Affleck? I think that is, right?
That's the first time I've ever gotten an actor name.
Yeah. I was surprised. I was surprised. I don't even remember his first name. But yeah, that's him, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And which is also a really cool cast pull as well.
Yeah, and it's like it really makes sense. I don't know why, cuz now that I think of older Timothy Chalamet,
they look similar.
I don't think the older one looks the same. But him, like younger Timothy into Casey Affleck.
It just makes sense for some reason. Yeah. No, it works so well. Same with the child actor going to whatever. I don't know who her name is. Murph. But the adult actress for her.
Yeah.
She kind of reminds me of Bryce.
Is it the Jurassic World lady?
Yes, that's who it is. Bryce something. Oh, Bryce Howard. Something like that. Because she's Ron.
Yeah.
The Jurassic Ron Howard's daughter. That's what she. We're throwing up pictures. I'm sure we gotta throw up pictures so we can, because that's what I'm envisioning in my head is those actresses look similar.
Yeah, they do.
To me, at least. But yeah, no. It's really good. I think this one seeing in IMAX especially was a little. It caught me off guard, like
IMAX
emotionally.
Way. Like I like the movie a lot more now seeing it in IMAX.
Yeah,
and I can definitely see how. A lot of the other times you hear like made to see on the big screen.
Yeah.
This one feels like
like we watched it how it was supposed to be watched.
Yeah, and it actually made it better because sometimes seeing it on the big screen is like, well, I guess it's cooler, but it's not going to be a whole lot different than on the TV at home. This was way different. Also, what do you think of film projection?
Well, so there's a couple problems I think that not problems, but like we saw some null things on the screen that we weren't sure it was like the actual screen itself. We talked about this after the movie, but like I'm saying this again for the viewers, but like I'm not sure if it was like we weren't sure if it was like the screen or if it was just like on the camera or on the glass.
Some of it was definitely the actual white screen on the back had like a hole in it or something. And the guy said
had like it looked like it was kind of not torn, but like
the guy said that there is all
like
the speakers.
It was worn a little bit.
He said all the speakers are behind the screen, and there's actually a bunch of tiny holes in the screen to let sound through, which is also interesting. I don't know if that's what just made one of those holes bigger.
Like if the vibrations of the speakers.
Well, just it being an old screen and all that. But one thing that also, it's cool seeing the little dust things. Those are actually kind of fun to see.
Yeah.
Because it reminds you that you're like in a movie theater.
I didn't see that, but you caught that. I don't know. I didn't.
There was also that little splashy bit at the bottom left.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what that was.
Someone's poop, I would assume.
It almost looked like someone just like threw a cup at the screen.
Yeah, no, you know what? It probably, yeah, because I was seeing wear on the screen. I'm like, how are they wearing? Like, how does that wear off? Like, what are they doing? Is someone like, do they have a curtain or something that would rub against it at some point? Or I don't know. Do they protect it? Maybe they have a thing that like comes down and protects the screen over time.
I imagine not.
It's like, yeah, it was weird. I that part was like the only thing that kind of took me out of the movie where I was like, once you like focus on something like that, you kind of like hyperfixate on it.
You're like waiting for it to pop up because you only see it when it was like bright screen.
Bright. Yep.
And also because the movie switches between the like 70mm square IMAX aspect ratio.
Yes.
To the letterbox aspect ratio.
Right.
And
okay.
It does that back and forth. So every time it goes to the big screen and it was also bright, you would see that spot.
Is that how it's said? Letterbox?
Yeah, letterbox.
Is that where they just get their name and I'm just now getting this now?
I think so.
Oh.
I mean,
it's kind of embarrassing.
I think like theirs is letterboxed.
Yes.
But letterbox aspect ratio, I'm pretty sure is a thing.
Yeah.
There's actual numbers like 2.39 aspect ratio, and there's a lot of stuff like that. But generally, there's like the square, and then there's the cinematic, which has the
boxes on
the top and bottom.
Which was so cool when it switched to square. Like, as I told you, like certain scenes, like when it switched to like the race through the corn maze, and it switched to like square. The screen is like square, and it's just like the 70mm film is just so high quality, and you're like looking at it on this square. It's like one of the most beautiful shots you've ever seen.
And also just the the grain in the film makes it look. It just makes it look smoother and cleaner, which is weird because it's less. It feels like in a digital projection, you get sharper lines, which almost makes it. This is just like nice to look at.
Yeah.
And it's something that I didn't think I would care much about, but it's actually kind of nice.
So really quick, going back to the corn maze scene. Such a cool scene. But like, yeah, I was thinking about like how they had to drive through this corn maze. Do you think that drone was a real drone? Did they like have a real drone like that where they're following it? Is that all?
I don't know. I haven't actually. I was thinking about that watching the
that.
movie because Christopher Nolan usually likes to do a lot of practical stuff, practical effects instead of doing VFX, and
because it felt like it was a real drone, and that I just feel like
it looked a lot like it.
That drone footage, to get that kind of footage of not only like the car chase scene.
I'm sure the car chases all practical effects.
Yeah.
But I don't think it would be too hard to do a drone and make it look realistic.
Yeah.
With how it was flying.
Well, also that drone, I wanted to talk about it storyline wise. That was sent down because remember he said it was like maybe it was picking up some sort of signal.
Yeah.
Is that because? Do you think that's because they like that was like kind of from? Oh, well, I was gonna talk about the higher being thing that they always talked about, like the them, the they, the they thems, and the they thems that are from the future,
the fourth dimensional beings.
They just knew that there's gonna be they thems in the future, and that's what they're referring to. No, when they sent down, like, do you think that drone was brought down to picked up the signal, for her?
No, I think that was just how all the tractors went haywire because of the gravitational anomalies.
Because the world was ending.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just because they had all that, those anomalies there, I think it just messes with the computers and electronic stuff, and that's why the drone, was flying down close. I just don't know.
He hacked it on his
Dell. That seems really cool.
Dell version number 2 computer.
Yeah.
His IBM grade number 5.
I like that the world that he sets up, where it seems super. Like it just looks like a normal American town, but then it wasn't like what he said when I was a kid. We were like fighting for food and.
Are you talking about in the end with the?
No, so in the baseball game, the grandpa's talking about like baseball games used to have hot dogs, and then, the dad's saying like, "Oh, well, we didn't even the dad lived through the hard time, and then it was slowly getting back to normal baseball again." Like it seems like there's a lot of world building and stuff that behind it all.
I get you.
That I didn't really.
That they're living in a different time than what we kind of like to live. Like it's almost like a near future. Because they were because that's what I forgot about was.
Well, it's like if the time that we're living in right now, it's like if this was I don't even know if there was a specific world event, like all the dust came through and because the grandpa was saying he's like imagine
a post-COVID.
Oh yeah.
Event, yeah.
The grandpa was saying imagine 6 billion people on the planet, because he's basically saying there's significantly less than that now. So something happened in that world where a lot of people died.
Yeah. Well, the suffocation of the. Because here's the thing, they were watching a Yankees game. Where does it take place? Are they in New York, or are they just watching the Yankees? Were they in a country part of New York?
I think so, but I don't think
because they're getting dust bowls. Obviously, this is in the future.
Yeah.
It's a apocalyptic situation. But is it that bad where it's they're getting dust bowls in New York, which I don't think happens at all.
Yeah,
because dust bowls are usually more towards the south, like Oklahoma, with the big dust bowl and stuff. Which is crazy. Also, I've seen documentaries on the Dust Bowl before, and watching it was funny. Is like you see those little snippets of the old people,
Oh yeah,
and you're like, this is like exactly from that same sort of documentary.
that's
The
what.
people who are telling me like we had to turn our plates upside down so we didn't get dust on the. We had to have the plates, anything we eat with, the cups and the plates,
Yeah,
all upside down.
I actually forgot that they show all that at the end, in like the little his house, which I guess is like a little museum.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was because it feels like at the start you're like, wait, why does it just look like real people? It's telling.
Yeah.
It just looks exactly like a documentary.
Yeah, and well, because it cuts to that through the movie,
Mm-hmm.
but it's kind of funny how they keep that that like like a made museum version of his house, just because it's the house that Murphy grew up in.
Yeah.
But then when he comes back, when they find him, they just let him stay there. They're just like, oh,
And
well,
then
here's
he
your
just
house
like
back.
he pulls out the
Here's a
robot.
replica of your house.
It just starts working on it on the kitchen table.
Yeah,
And then he's just sitting on the porch drinking beer.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
just like, oh, back at home. Even though my farm is above me.
Yeah.
You know?
I like that line at the end where he was like, I don't like all this imagining that we're back to where we were. I want to know where we're at now or something, or where we're going.
Where we're going.
And
Yeah,
then
'cause
he
it
steals
kinda-
the ship and
Oh,
goes find
it's
Anne
such
Hathaway.
a good ending.
That's a
It's
good
so good. Because you just know, it gives you like hope, even though it's kind of like bittersweet,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Also, because
but
his daughter's dying,
because his daughter's
He was-
dying.
older than him.
And you know that that's like what he did it for, but you kind of know that he still gave her the ability to live out a full life and die like an old woman,
Mhm.
which I kind of wish they kind of touched up like what happened with his son,
Yeah, because
he just became a jerk and like didn't care. Like, well, he like the whole thing was became like more cautious of his family and his home. But he gave up on like wanting to like save his family.
Well, I don't think he thought it would be saving them.
Well, yeah,
Because like his
nobody-
dad, it seemed like he thought his dad was going to save him, and then that didn't turn out. So now he's like, oh well, I got to do what I need to do now. But also, even just like when he gets back, when Cooper gets back, he's not like, where's my son?
Yeah, he only worries about Murph, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, and I'm like, I mean, at least acknowledge that he died, because we know if she's an old lady, then obviously he died.
Yeah.
But like,
Well, yeah, probably.
yeah, most likely, but like, well, because he's significantly older, I think, a little bit, a couple of years. So I mean, it's safe to assume, but it's like also, he had a kid,
Yeah. Also,
which could have died. Who he could
did he have a
died
kid
too.
that died? Was Jesse?
Yeah, he must have had a kid that died because they made a
That's-
reference, which is like I didn't miss that the full first
I
time.
know, because they say it whenever whenever the son sends the message to Cooper, and he's like, it's like his goodbye message, and he's like, also like Grandpa died, I buried her next to Mom and Jesse. I was like, who the heck is Jesse?
Yeah,
And then-
I didn't catch that either.
And then later on, when him and his sister are like fighting, and she's like, you're gonna wait for another one of your kids to die.
Yeah. Well,
was like-
yeah. She said that I caught it for sure when she said you want another one of your kids to die. But also when he sent the first message that he had the baby,
Oh yeah.
he said we're gonna name the next one. We were thinking of naming her Coop, naming him Coop, but
Coop is the older one, and
but Lois said next time.
yeah.
And then you only see Cooper for the rest of them. So yeah, it was like they definitely had a subtle little bit of like character arc there,
Yeah.
a little bit of story there.
I like that they
just
have that in
snuck
there.
and that's just like that's deep. That's deep, and it must be for the same thing. There must be the dust and the like causing problems with suffocating, because that's what the whole problem was.
Yeah, that's what. I guess Eddie Brock is a doctor, so
Yeah, he's
he
like,
can-
we got to get them out of here.
right now.
Yeah. He's like, I got a little bit of black goo in the back of my truck or in the back of my lab that we need to get ASAP. It may make you dance a little bit, but yeah, Eddie Brock saves the day. No, I think that ending is just so good. Also, his suit is so sick, that like astronaut suit he gets at the end. I was like, shoot, he should have gotten this halfway through the movies.
Suit, yeah.
He looks so cool. And it's like, you just know that jet he was flying or whatever he was flying out of there, it was like 20 times more like futuristic than the stuff he was using.
Yeah.
He was like working with like BlackBerry level NASA equipment, and then he moves up to like iPhone 16 and AI.
Also,
and he's like,
I don't think I had realized that the ship that they were on at the end, like the big one with the houses and everything, I thought that was a planet. I didn't realize it was I realized it was like everybody from Earth.
Well, that's what I was trying to figure out. I was like, so she figures out a way to make her own, like, exit? Or they just figured out a way to like keep humans alive while transporting them to a new planet, because they still need to find Brand's still on that new planet to inhabit it.
Yeah, and that's where Cooper went. But I guess the professor designed the NASA headquarters to be a spaceship if he could figure out this formula, but then realized that he wasn't going to figure it out. And that's what
the plan A was just the formula for the spaceship. It wasn't the actual.
Yeah, but it had something to do with the like figuring out how to control gravity so that we can get all of these people off of Earth with the resources that we have. So Matt Damon was like, yeah, he or Mann, was that his name?
Yeah, Dr. Mann.
Dr. Mann.
Matt Damon.
Dr. Mann Damon. He said, he's like, oh yeah, he figured that out before I had left. But basically figured out that he wouldn't be able to figure it out unless he could look into a black hole.
Yeah. Well, really quick, I know we have to wrap up here shortly, but also I think Matt Damon was like a surprise. Like people didn't know about it. I remember hearing about like how Matt Damon was a surprise like actor that they kept secret until
I didn't know
the release of the movie.
I don't think I was. Yeah, I wasn't in on it in the 2014 when it came out.
All right, but, so a little late on the ground. I'm just kidding.
The Martian was after that, right? Was it like 2017?
Yeah, Martian was after Interstellar for sure.
Because it's like it's just the same thing, but he's not a dirtbag.
Facts. He plays with dirtbags in that one.
He does.
Poop bags specifically.
Poop bags and gross potatoes.
Yeah. And then one thing I also wanted to mention was how similar I saw the convenience between this movie, 2001 Space Odyssey, and Interstellar. And I remember why now. It's not just because it's space. And I told you not just because like they're small little. It's because of the higher being, like the future self idea, like this whole thing that's this whole movie when they're like also the automated like AI that like talks to them in human voices, like the whole thing is because 2001 Space Odyssey is like, I cannot do that, you know, like that's the whole like turning point.
Yeah,
they're trying to enter the spaceship. It's like,
which I remember first watching the movie and being like, are the robots going to be bad?
Yeah.
Are the robots actually going to turn against them? Because they like joke about it at the start.
Yeah.
But
which this kind of has like a betrayal moment, very similar to Matt Damon's betrayal moment in Interstellar. All right, we're back from just really quick. Just had a cut there just to die really quick. I had a little bit of a cough attack, but we're good. We're good. What were we talking about?
Talking about the betrayal in Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
Were you talking about between him and the computer?
Yeah, because him and the computer.
Okay, yeah.
He enters the spaceship again, and And that's a whole
Yeah.
like big important scene is like that's like a
Open
line
the
that's
pod bay
used.
doors.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's that movie is really cool. I like that whole sequence. But in this one, like,
Didn't really like the movie, but it's like I gave it higher because like the shots were so cool and the ideas are so cool.
Matt Damon's character is like, I feel like he plays him really well because he's
Yeah.
very convincing when he's like, oh yeah, there's life, like we can inhabit this planet, and then he's like, sorry, I'm a coward. You guys gotta die, and
Yeah,
I
I
gotta
know.
go home.
And
And
he's
then
like,
even when he's like on the comms, he's like, I don't know what he told you, but I'm taking over the ship and we're gonna continue with the mission. Like,
yeah,
I
it's
was
like,
almost convinced again. I was like, oh, he's a good guy.
yeah. And like when he's like panicking, and like also when he's walking out with Matthew McConaughey on the ship, and he's like contemplating if he should do it or not. You know, like he's
also
talking to him. He's like still like, oh man, like I have to do this. You know.
He's also like trying to avoid little things. He like doesn't want to check on the robot. He's like, oh, you got your comm, you're charged up, like you're all good. We can go now. Or he's like, it feels like he's trying to delay it.
Yeah.
Or yeah, I don't know.
All right, we gotta wrap.
That's really good.
I'm gonna die. Wrap this up, JJ.
All right, thank you for watching. We'll be back. Probably just me because Sneaky will be dead.
All right. Yeah, that's all we got for episode. Oh yeah, really quick, we did take episode 5. We did do episode 5 one other time.
Yeah.
But what happened, JJ?
I don't know. Someone lost the audio.
The audio wasn't recording.
Yeah. I had the mic recording. I had the mic on the recorder recording, but not these two tracks. So we have a whole hour and a half episode with no audio.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. That's we figured we'd have an episode that may have gotten a little mistake or so, but yeah, but we'll be running it back. We have a lot still we're trying to cook up, but obviously with holiday season it's kind of busy for us, so we're trying to work on our everything at once. So
and watch a lot of Christmas.
And
movies.
we're trying to finish up our movies and watch our Christmas movies and stuff. So we have something to talk about. So yeah.
Yep.
But yeah. Thanks for watching. For anybody who's
next
watching.
time.
And see you in episode 6.